So this is the Trusted Referral Network. We're a network of about 100 and almost 200 people around the country, all providing marketing services of one sort or another, plus a handful of sponsors who are providing products or services to the marketing world. And I think Jack would fit into that. I think that's the only person here who is not specifically providing a marketing service, but is adjacent to the marketing world. And we try to have at each of our weekly meetings a 15-minute showcase. And Howard Levy is going to be taking that on. And then after that, as we usually do, it'll be about 2 or 3 minutes. It's a smaller crowd today, so maybe 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes, introductions going around the table or the virtual table. And I will drop in the chat the order more or less in which people showed up, so that you can know when your turn is coming. And I'm going to give you the floor. I assume I'll give you the share screen option to share your screen, and then you can take it away. And I will my timer on for 15 minutes. Howard, do you want people to chime in with questions or wait till the end or put them in the chat, or all three?
All three.
All right.
Fine. This is guys for you. So, I'm excited to present on AI because it's exploding in the world. It's just kind of rushing on as a storm, and it's hard to even catch up with what's going on. I'm just curious. It would be easier if we had done introductions first, so I kind of get a sense of what everyone does. But by show of hands, who's using AI in some form for their business now? Okay, several people. Okay, so I prepared various ways of using AI in marketing, and largely from content marketing and or generating content. And I have kind of lots of different things to kind of show you, and some videos and things, and hopefully it's useful to you. So I guess starting with what is AI? They're algorithms that are programmed to capture lots of data and use them in useful ways, I guess, is the most the simplest way of saying it. And it's out there in all different ways, from Google driving directions to Google Translate, Netflix recommending movies that you like, to Spotify recommending songs, voice assistants, AI, Grammarly, correcting your language and things like that. So it's slowly infiltrating in ways we don't even know about, behind the scenes. So the question is really, how can we take advantage of some of these tools for our business, both to, what we've been looking at is how do we use them to improve our effectiveness and productivity, and how can we use them then to enhance our capabilities for clients and create new systems and new ways of doing things for our clients. We're not quite there yet, but that's kind of the thrust, I think, of where the revolution is. The tools are out there, people are using them, but how could you codify them in a way that's going to be useful to your business? Because looking at these things, a lot of us are going to be out of business, or the nature of what we do, let's say, as marketing experts, as content creators, as producers, is going to change because the tools are out there. Who's used ChatGPT? Most of you. Who's used any type of image generator like DALL-E or Midjourney? Just Michael. All right, I'm going to show you some of that stuff because that's really cool stuff. I wanted to start with a little bit of marketing overview of how AI could be used for marketing. Behind the scenes, marketing AI could be very powerful in helping to understand your customers, analyze the data, create segmentations of your lists and your audiences for you, start to create customized language and messaging. It can help to understand your campaign performance and give you better data so that you can create better workflows and target people in a more customized way. Could be used for then like AI, A/B split testing of ads and generating different ideas. And do journey mapping for your customers. and creating real intelligence so you could overall create more effective campaigns. We were looking at systems, and I'm going to show you a little, it's a video ad, but I think it's kind of interesting, so I'm going to share. This is for Salesforce. So all the major CRM systems like Salesforce and HubSpot, who send out automated, you can set up workflows for emails to send out, are all integrating AI in different ways.
Make sure you share the video, the audio.
Did it not? Do I have to sit something to share audio?
Yeah, try it again before you share, unshare, and then there's a, I think, just as you share, there's a
sound.
button.
Okay, yep.
Share
great.
sound, yeah.
Should I hit optimize for video clip?
I don't know. Anybody know? Rajiv says yes. All right.
All right, let's see what that does. All right, it's like a 1 minute video. It's a little teaser on their stuff to give you a sense of what CRMs are aiming to do. This is a little idealistic. So that's an overview, and it's, as most tech ads are, kind of, very promising and idealistic. When you actually dive into the, the details, they have a multi-page PDF that kind of goes into the 6 different areas, that's covered by this. Whoops, I just lost my screen.
Can you use it with LinkedIn?
With LinkedIn, you said?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I was going to just show you this Salesforce. When you look at like the very specific things that they say, and they have things from the customers and marketing, sales. And so in the marketing section, it says like, oh, you get insights and you can optimize and things. But when you look at it, it's, one, it's costly. 2, you need a certain amount of users of data, to make these things worthwhile. So I think right now there's like a little bit of a gap between the promise of some of these things and what smaller organizations are able to do. But the gap is closing pretty quickly, and I think we should be looking at how we can take advantage of some of these tools. LinkedIn probably has AI capabilities to do targeting and things like that. I don't know about that in particular. For those who haven't used Chat GPT, I'm going to kind of go through and just share some of the resources. You should get a free account. You could also pay for it to get a little more bandwidth. But basically, you can ask it anything. I want to write 10 subject lines to promote a fundraising bike ride, is one of our clients, for a homeless organization. And before you could even start to think about what they are, it's popping popping lines out. We've used this to write any kind of content, and you can put content in and like a paragraph bio about someone and say, write a news release announcing this, person, his appointment to the organization. You can have it write emails, you could have it write social posts, you could have then, amend it, so you make it shorter, make it more passionate, and so forth. So it's kind of a go-to resource for content writing. And this is why writers are, the nature of basic writing is going to change, and the nature of writers are going to change, because they're going to have to be able to use these and become prompt engineers and know how to use the tool to get what you want out of it, kind of like you would need to know how to use Photoshop or any other tool. So it's quite amazing. We use it for research, find me the best fundraising, tools for our clients. What are the 10 questions we should ask when evaluating fundraising tools? Anything you can imagine, you can ask it, and it'll generate content for you, whether for research purposes, whether for actual marketing purposes. And you can continue and say regenerate response, or refine them in certain ways and so forth. And so you need to kind of learn how to use the tool to refine them for to get the outcome that you want.
Got to write a legal brief for a judge?
Well, actually, there's an interesting case where lawyers just used it for citing cases, and it made up cases. So it's not always accurate for real information. It's called hallucination. They call it hallucinating. Also, it's based on data that's from 10 years from 2021 is when they pushed all the stuff into it. All the data is several years old. So in terms of factual information, when we ask for like what are the best fundraising software, it's not going to capture the last couple of years worth of data. So you do have to be careful about that.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
I got a question. How you talking about being a prompt engineer? Just show an example of simple prompt engineer, what you meant by that, because I just use it on the surface level, and I'm not a prompt engineer. I have no idea what refining or doing what that even means. So,
well, let's say, make these shorter. Let's see what happens there. We've used it to say include more compassion, include
There's no references to the biking, I don't think. Did you put that in the original prompt?
Oh, maybe I didn't actually. Did I say that? Include. Oh, I didn't say that. I wrote fundraising. Yeah. All right.
Fundraising.
So,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking and
That's
sharing
right.
all this at the same time.
Yeah. If you don't put the prompt in there, it has no idea what you're thinking. Unfortunately, not yet.
Yeah.
when you talk about prompt, you're talking about the original one. I get a little confused.
No, continued. So, it's take these. So, include more information, include information. Let's see what happened, about, cycling or homelessness. I don't think I would write that, because not cycling for homelessness, cycling to promote homelessness. But pedal for a purpose, cycle to make a difference, gear up, give back.
Yeah, right now that one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
I want to show you. I want to move on. I have tons of interesting things to show you. I'm going to show you something visually now. Oh, here's something else. So AI, there's a little clip here. Google introduced AI power ads. This is just a little
news, but something to note. Google is going to be introducing AI-powered ads. Essentially, if you're going to run a Google ad campaign, it's going to ask you some questions about your business, including what makes your products or service unique and what's your brand's personality. It'll allow you to generate your ad images directly with AI. You'll simply go into the ad platform, click a button that says help create my ad, and it will do most of the work for you in order to generate effective ad campaigns.
So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy where this is going. So you can kind of see. I'm going to show you something else. For using Photoshop, you can go.
You can see here's another example here of a mountain on a lake. Here's where they added generative fill, and it actually continued the image along there. A bunch of.
That's kind of crazy. It's actually adding new content, in the area that you don't have. It could merge two images together and make a single image. Now here. This is really crazy. This is a is this the one? Yeah. This is an AI powered video game. They program the character using AI language. You're in the virtual reality of the game, and you're talking to the player, and it is answering you. And it answers you. It'll answer every player a little differently.
Mr. eFlow, but let's take a peek at this video here.
Hey Jen, how are you?
Unfortunately, not so good.
How come?
I am worried about the crime around here. It's gotten bad lately. My ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Can I help?
If you want to do something about this, I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city. He may be the root of this violence.
I'll talk to him. Where can I find him?
I have heard he hangs out in the underground fight clubs on the city's east side. Try there.
Okay, I'll go.
Be careful, Kai.
So in any case, this is where the future is going. Pretty crazy.
It's interesting because I just had a demo from somebody yesterday, and she took me into an area that looked very much like what you just showed us. Super
Yeah.
cool.
Any questions? You have about a minute and a half left.
I'm going to show, and I'm going to do one more thing really quickly. Then.
Sure,
I'm gonna
please.
show you. I'm going to show you this generative tool, Midjourney, that creates images for you. You put a prompt in. Someone wants a realistic photo of young women completely in butterflies, dark green. It gives you 4 versions, and you can click to regenerate it. You can click to refine it, or you can click to create variations on it. The stuff that comes out of here, old Mickey Mouse and colored 3D animation. I mean, it is just amazing. Grizzly, you know, in different illustration styles, and within seconds, you have images. So, you know, writers, photographers, illustrators, I was going to do one quickly if anyone had a prompt, but basically old map with engraving, monsters in the ocean, sailing ships, dark mountains. You could be very specific. I've seen them done in very specific styles, you know, cute Disney style. Someone do a lion kicking a soccer ball in a Leonardo da Vinci, you know, style. So same thing here with prompt engineering. It's interesting. These are a lot of the same people. You just kind of see them refining, you know, their work as they go along. And the same thing here, you kind of need to know the, you know, how to prompt. Look at another channel just to see some other things. Any case, you know, you can ask for you know, individual people as well, and you know, celebrities and or in the style of celebrities or other things. So,
Have you used Bing Creative?
I'm sorry?
Bing Creative.
I haven't used Bing Creative. I've used Chat. I've used Midjourney. We use DALL-E to create images.
I'm in love with Bing Creative. It's just really accessible.
Are DALL-E and Midjourney on Discord, via Discord?
Midjourney is on Discord for sure.
And
Okay.
DALL-E separately.
Correct. Yeah. DALL-E is part of the same OpenAI organization. I'll show you one thing. Thank you so much. That was very enlightening. You know, we're all learning a lot about this, but this, I think, opened up doors and new areas for us to think about and perhaps build into our practices. I'm going to share something that I just did. I put it in my newsletter. I don't know if who saw it, but I needed to update my headshot. So I use this thing called Try It On. And these are the 17 pictures that I uploaded. You know, if I went to my Apple iCloud and picked pictures, and it generated a whole bunch of new headshots, some of which are not me at all. But, you know, if I was on a dating app, maybe. But then it got a lot closer, right? I think this one sort of looks like me.
That's pretty
Those are
good.
real guns?
Yeah, those are my real guns. The teeth are pretty messed up here. Somehow it looks, you know, somehow it doesn't do teeth all that well. And this is the one I just uploaded up to LinkedIn. So it's AI generated, and it does look like me. It's when I did have a beard at one point. And then I used another one for Facebook. That's this one. So
really nice work.
Yeah, and it was all of $17. So, you know, if you're in the headshot business, this is going to be a challenge. I mean, I think it's going to expand the market. Like $17 to generate these really good pictures. And of course, I don't own any of these clothes. It's also, you know, adding all of these clothes.
Well, a real life
This
photo
one's this
yeah.
is a good look, though. I think I might do that.
Like a real
Check out
life,
those specs.
well, a real life photo shoot would probably cost you about $150 thereabouts.
Oh, at
From what I
least.
remember,
more.
yeah,
At
or more.
least.
It depends. Well, I knew a guy a long time ago. I'm dating myself by this, but actually, come to think of it, that was 30 years ago. So yeah, it's a lot more money now. Probably about 300
Yeah.
or 400, I guess.
Yeah, I can attest to that. But I think a few things to keep in mind as marketers, and then I have something to keep in mind as a creative, right?
Right.
So on the
right.
creative side, some photographers are quaking in their boots saying this is the end of days because someone like Michael can now not hire me and put $17, right? I don't, it's fine for me because I don't really do a lot of headshots anymore. But I would say to you guys as marketers and as humans, make sure that you put somewhere powered by AI. This is not, because it's just like the retouching controversy where people were impossibly thin or their skin, and it
Sure.
created a whole bunch of body image stuff. Just be aware that, and I know that Google is doing a big push now to both in their YouTube and in general images to do the equivalent of what's the word, credit, I guess, to AI.
Right.
For that matter,
Right.
so people know where it's coming from. And that said, as creatives and as marketers, this has commoditization of photography and digital creation has been going on since way before AI. And this just pushes us to move up the value chain in terms of what you offer,
Yeah.
right? And I'll just leave it at that without complaining and anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. You're not complaining. You're just
Yeah.
you're just speaking
Yeah.
truth. I mean, this. Like I come from the digital imagery world. I worked in stock photography, doing composite images, so I'm super familiar with this. But a lot of what I'm seeing, it doesn't worry me at all because some of what I do isn't in this world, so I don't really care. And the part of the thing with people who are worrying is like, guys, you're coming from a limited mindset. If you have a growth mindset, then you see all sorts of possibilities and opportunities, and AI just becomes another tool in your box to be able to do all sorts of cool stuff. Like, for example, like I'm from the traditional photography thing. I was working in what they called multi-image way back, using pin-registered cameras to do special effects photography and cell animation for cartoons. And then the computer came along and destroyed my industry. In a year and a half, it was gone. It was over. And I just embraced it and just went with it. And I feel the same way about AI. If you have the growth mindset, you'll embrace it. It's like, how can I use this as a tool? How can I make things in my life better? And instead of seeing it as a threat, you see it as an opportunity.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
two other
I
things
think
on
Howard
that.
brought
sorry.
that. I think Howard brought that up and or at least alluded to that in the power to enhance what you already do and to,
Yeah.
People are going to pay for your time if you bring expertise on top of the tools, right? They're not going to pay for your time if they can do it themselves with the tools. So
Everyone's got a pen. No one's a writer. Not everyone's a writer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the pen business has certainly shrunk. But
Yeah, and to show Michael's example, I don't think photography of humans will stop because he needed those baseline 17 photos. So
Right.
you could use crappy ones from your phone or mediocre ones from your phone, not crappy, or you could, hire a professional to get the baseline photos and then tweak them from there. Secondly,
Exactly.
for every photographer or creative who bitches about AI, I use it now in Photoshop and Lightroom. And to do a mask of a very intricate thing, I used to have to individually trace out the thing. Now
Yeah.
there are things where I can basically say select object, select background, and it does it in about 8 seconds. 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy to show that in my next one, but it's not that important for the moment. Just so you know it exists.
I'd certainly love to see a demo of that because I'm working with Photoshop, and I also write articles for people, and so stuff like that could be really interesting. Pitch it to my editor once I know more.
We could connect further separately. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
would really like that.
All right, let's jump into it. Actually, I think Rajiv left. He was the first one in, and I was going to give him the floor, but I guess he had to run before. So we just go around the table, the screen, in the order that I dropped it in the chat. So we'll start, I think we have 2 minutes. I mean, we only have, let's see, 10 folks. So that should give us enough time. Let's start with Leslie Lawton.
Good morning.
Oh, by the way, before you start,
Yeah,
I'm going to put you on speaker mode. So if everybody else can go on mute, so it doesn't change the video.
Great, thanks.
Go ahead.
I'm Leslie Lawton. I'm a copywriter and creative director in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've got experience in just about all business sectors, writing, putting teams together to develop websites, all sorts of digital communications work is in my background. I'm taking all of this experience and including my life experience and creating a niche in storytelling for sustainability and social impact. So if you know, like for instance, any sustainability directors or C-level officers in companies at this time, I believe they're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and compromised. I'm here to help with that, and I believe storytelling can be a powerful influence in helping to align. It's the work I do isn't so much about metrics that I need handed to me and benchmarking for companies about what their emissions are, but crafting stories and creative work that tells the company's story truthfully and honestly, of course, and really literally inspiring and galvanizing all company stakeholders. This kind of alignment helps with the shift required in business strategies for reducing CO2 emissions. So I'm looking for those kinds of introductions, and thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Our guest, Matt Stephen. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you, Michael. I've been in a lot of networking rooms that are generally a 30-second pitch, so I'm going to have to stretch this out a little bit here. But my name is Matt. I work for an SEO agency. The majority of our clients are going to be in the B2B space, agencies or professional service. But we really get into the SEO side on site of title tags, meta descriptions, everything on the back end. If Google can't read your site properly, we know what to do and we know how to fix it. I would say with the caveat of about 99% of people that come to me, if they're panicking about their site, we're going to be able to fix it. Where we really, extend and excel is that we then start doing our link building process, and we've really fine-tuned that. And the way that we do our link building is that we get our clients featured as thought leaders. So we pitch them, hey, we reach out to publications all over the web that are accepting guest posters. We say, hey, this is our client, this is their company, here are topics that they want to write about. Are these good fits for your site? And when it clicks and they say, yes, that's actually a perfect fit for us, it's our client's name, it's their face, their company name on the article with links going back to very specific targeted pages on their site. So we get really granular and tactical with what pages are we ranking, where are we focusing, what are the keywords that we're going to expand on. But that all being said, that's all we do. We are solely focused on SEO. So any good connections, I love meeting anybody else that are from other forms of marketing, whether branding, web design, any sorts of marketing that, we're not going to cannibalize each other. I love forming partnerships with them. And hopefully, as we get to know more, we can bounce referrals off of each other because we're not competing for the same sector. So any agencies or marketing directors, things like that would be great connections for me.
I have a social media agency that does a lot of thought leadership promotion. I don't think they do the SEO work. So
Wave, red flag. I cannot stand thought leader. I cannot stand stakeholder. I'm old school. Sorry, guys. It's been used already twice in this meeting.
All right. Nathan Segal, our newest member.
Thank you. So, my name is Nathan Segal. I work as a ghostwriter, and I work in a number of ways. The most obvious way is where I write a book for you, if that's something you want. But the other way, which is really helpful if you want to write a book, but you don't know how, I create a 90-minute session where I would work with you, and I would show you everything I know about how to write a book really quickly. And so when I show you how to do this, it means that you will save anywhere between 80 to 90% of the time that it would take to actually write a book the traditional way, like if you were to write it by hand. And it will also save you 80 to 90% of the cost of doing it. Now, if you're wondering how it can be done so quickly,
ChatGPT.
no, ChatGPT is part of it, but you preempted me a bit. That's not fair. Anyway, so the primary way that I do it is I create an outline with somebody, and once the outline is solid, I get on a call like this. I interview the person for the content, record it, edit it, record it, transcribe it, edit it, and then I run it through ChatGPT as a way of improving the editing process. I've done it, and the results have been really, really good. So the idea is when you do it that way, and then I make use of other third-party services, such as people on Fiverr, for doing the layout of the book, the cover of the book, the design, setting it up on Amazon, all of that. And when it's all done, you have a finished book for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time.
So what is a typical, if you don't mind sharing, what is a typical cost for somebody who does it through you?
Well, if I take them through this process, it would be $497 for the process. If they want, and I'm out of time, but if they want an actual book done and they want me to do that, then we have to do the outline first. And once the outline is done, then I can give the person a quote. There's no set fee. It changes with every project.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Interesting to learn about. Mark Herre.
Mark Herre here in Salt Lake City, and I am just before this meeting experiencing everything I can possibly do about this AI stuff. So this is great today to be here with you and learn. I'm always learning from one-to-ones with people I meet, because I love to meet with people who want to talk about SEO. I run a company called SEO Game, and it's been in the making for 27 years with one big pivot. That pivot was 20 years ago, and that was to just be a service provider for delivery in rankings, getting websites #1 in 30-day trials, and doing it for the digital marketer with their most competitive website they have the biggest challenges for. So as a heavy hitter, I've been behind the scenes offering these 30-day test drive trials, and I've gotten a lot of flack from that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I call it no rank, no pay. Oh, how dare you? You can't do that. I call it performance based. Oh, how dare you? You have to charge up front and go through the checklist of all the things that you're supposed to be good at. I just want to make the digital marketer look good. That's what I'm good at. Getting the digital marketer paid big bucks so I could be a good vendor and manage their entire book of business. And anyway, Mark Herre, SEO Game. Ping me on LinkedIn, and let's set up a one-to-one. Put it in the chat.
The fact that he's been doing this for 27 years vouches for its effectiveness. You wouldn't be feeding your family if it weren't for the effectiveness of what you're doing. So that's great. All right, Larry Joseph.
Well, as Michael mentioned, it's been a while, so I'm going to give you my elevator pitch, but I haven't read it in a while or done it in a while, so I'm going to have to read a little bit. Of all the advertising tools available to businesses, perhaps the least creatively used yet most impactful and desired by consumers are branded promotional products. Recent surveys show over 85% of customers prefer receiving a useful item with your logo than getting any other form of advertising. Plus, there are over 1 million advertising specialty items and customized wearables to promote your company available to choose from. I'm Larry Joseph of Takeoff Products in Princeton, but I work nationally, and I navigate my clients through the incredible power of adding targeted marketing collateral to their marketing mix. And I have more time.
You do have more time. Tell us a story about what you've done recently for a client that will round it out for us.
Well, recently I've been adding a lot of. I've been getting some of my clients into online stores. One of my big clients is a regional, large commercial real estate firm with 45 apartment complexes throughout the East Coast. So they needed branded merchandise, not just for their corporate, but for every community has their own logo. And I've gotten a store site set up for them, and orders are coming in, and it's been a really nice really nice feature for me. I'm trying to find more clients like that, especially in commercial real estate. I also have some academic institutions that I work with. I'm not running their store site, but I'm handling all their branded marketing materials that they sell to the people at the academic institution. So, just my business was down about 45% with COVID. It's come back, but I needed to grow even more. And that's why I'm here, to meet everybody, and hopefully I can help you out. Feel free to give me a call if any of your clients might need some help in this area, if you don't particularly need it.
So commercial real estate, academic institutions are good clients for you?
Well,
good
yeah,
leads?
basically every
Anybody.
every business uses and can use branded promotional products.
Very cool. Thank you.
My
Jack
pleasure.
Chen, welcome back.
Yeah, hey, thank you. Yeah, I guess first a couple of PSAs for folks. Handling photographs is biometrics, so it's okay to submit your own picture, but think twice about customers, because it triggers consumer privacy data laws. So just be mindful of that. And also that once you submit your picture, you're giving them free license to use your image, like being a model in a stock photograph. So just something else to consider. And then separately in ChatGPT, I don't know if anyone has been following, is that I'm a lawyer, can you tell? That when you use ChatGPT, you're actually agreeing to indemnify them if they get sued for anything that you do, that you use. So be mindful how you use it. Disclaimers, powered by AI, so forth, but just something else to keep in mind. So my company, Buki, we invented two-way Bluetooth. Before the pandemic, we were used in convention centers, airports, so forth, to deliver proximity, hyperlocal based advertising through mobile apps. So a beacon competitor, if you will, that was faster. But we weren't really getting our value and in our pricing. And after the pandemic, we pivoted to helping assisted living communities. So, for example, we can send out immediate alerts if an elderly resident wanders off premises, what they call elopements. And it also helps staff, be more efficient and doing more with less with the labor crunch that everyone is facing right now.
So is it focused specifically on people wandering off premise, or are there other applications?
No, so things like, for example, certain types of patients like Parkinson's and dementia, taking their medication is very time sensitive. But pill time is a big moment of stress, because the staff need to find them wherever they are and give them their pills within a very short time window. So we've used our two-way Bluetooth instead of delivering content for advertising as a way to know where people are. You can think of it like indoor 3D GPS. And it just makes things faster. You don't have to go wandering around the halls to see where people are, and then say immediately where the resident is, and you can go and give them their pill, and it's just much more time efficient. It can also be used for things like timesheet validation. So during the pandemic, we had one of our customers. They had staff that were working at like midnight, putting in their timesheets, like working at midnight to 8 a.m. and we were able to validate that people were indeed on site, at those times.
Very cool. Nice pivot. All right. Krista Giannak.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pivots as well. And along those lines, I like to ask clients, who trusts you and why? Who trusts you enough to give you a call? I'm Krista Giannak, wise words that matter. I'm all about the story, especially the story behind your knowledge, the personal story, the personal narrative that makes you you. I'm a ghostwriter and blogger primarily. I also write other types of content. And so I look to ally myself with marketers and web designers, folks who are interested in the brand stories, the examples, the storied examples to help clients get their knowledge out. And the whole purpose here isn't to write the book. It's not It's not to write the bio. It's to get speaking. It's to position clients to book speaking engagements, position clients to get more people taking action on what they have to offer, positioning clients to change minds and change hearts with their ideas. I serve speakers and other visionaries. I'm not using the word thought leaders. I think someone objected to thought leader earlier. So, yeah, speakers and other visionaries works too. Krista, also, people tell me that I inspire them with my personal narrative. I talk about how I faced fear and overcame to become a skier who just happens to be blind. I used to shy away from my story, whereas now I've learned to flip the script on a perceived weakness like blindness, and I show my clients how we can do that too through the written word.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, good timing. 5 seconds left. Okay, Jason Gardner, well, back in Paris.
Hey everyone, greeting from Paris. I'm a photographer, if you didn't figure that out. And I have 3 big buckets of business, right? One is portraits, still a big business. The second is, I have 2 minutes or 3?
2 minutes.
Oh, crap. Okay. I do events and I create images for campaigns. And now I'm moving a lot more into publishing and long-term projects. And I'm going to show you both. Let's go.
You can share, right? Yeah.
I'm not going to show you my email. I can't find it, of course. Portraits, right? So put this away just to give you a quick idea. These are, personalities, musicians, entrepreneurs, individuals, that kind of thing. I call these more editorial portraits. These are all on my site. And I also have a project called At Work, which is a lot more business-focused portraits. It's a mix of your typical headshot, but also telling the story of your business in a more editorial form, showing how you are at work. And the point is to leverage all that in not just a headshot, but for PR purposes, blog posts, LinkedIn, etc. The thing that I'm doing now a lot more is my Carnival series, which I'll show you here. It's a long-term project, a personal one around the world of portraits of the traditional Carnival, 15 years in 16 countries, right? And my big announcement is that I am publishing a book and I have a book deal, but I'm doing the inevitable, where is it? The inevitable Kickstarter campaign, which I've just launched a few days ago. I'm about a third of the way through. And I'm pre-selling the book in essence, because nowadays, I will send you the link in the chat after I finish this. Nowadays, publishing companies, they say, great, we love your work, but can you fund it? So voila, I'm going to send the link to you guys. I have 12 seconds and that should be it. But in general, love this Trusted Referral Network and Bendit's group. And I'm here as a resource for both looking at images, evaluating them, and creating them. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. And I'm looking forward to seeing if you use AI and how you use it in the future. All right. Howard Levy, even though you gave the presentation, you didn't focus on your business, and we do have time, so take it away.
All right. So my company is called Red Rooster Group. We help to wake up a brand of organizations, typically nonprofit organizations, those who are working in the public interest, but also foundations and government agencies. And we're here to help empower those who are doing the great work in society, to help them to elevate their profile, raise their awareness, to galvanize more people around their cause, and to appeal to donors and raise more money for them. And typically we take on only a select number of clients and work with them intensively on a retainer basis to really understand their organization and their business, where the real need is, how they could transform their organization and achieve a higher level of success. So I'm going to give you one quick example here. It's the largest environmental organization in Israel wanted to raise money in the United States. And so they hired us to galvanize supporters here. Problem is they were not known at all in the United States. So we had to create a brand for them, and then do the outreach, which we're doing. So their message was mostly on protecting wildlife and conservation efforts in Israel, as well as doing activism work. But we realized that to appeal to donors in the United States, we needed to tell a larger story of how they can have impact beyond their borders. And they were doing projects that were having that kind of impact. And so we leveraged that idea of Israel as a startup nation that creates technology that is good for everywhere, that there are great environmental climate change mitigation technologies that are there. And so we created this story around them as a green beacon for the world. I guess my time is out. I was gonna share.
Share it. You got a few seconds left, but you can share it quickly.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that. So, so we created a new website around Israel, Nature Israel, Green Beacon for the World. We protect the environment locally in Israel. We share innovations globally, and what's good for Israel is good for the world.
Nice.
And so that's our. I guess we don't have time to go through the whole thing, but support the environment, support Israel, create a model for the world.
Are all those videos drones, or is that a human?
Some of that was drones, and that was all the client supplied from Israel. So, but a lot of it is
Drone video, yeah.
so, yeah.
Cool.
And so,
All right. Did I miss anybody? I think I had everybody, but if I missed somebody, let me know.
Quick shout out to Howard Levy. I've known him for 15 plus years. He does amazing work. Part of the reason why I joined today was to support him. Great job, Howard. He's always innovating in the nonprofit space, but yeah, incredible work.
great, thank you. Likewise.
Thanks for acknowledging. And I will do my pitch in the last, well, we have a little more than 10 minutes or 6 minutes, but so my name is Michael Bendit, and my core business is doing sales for software development teams. I have a dozen teams that I represent, and a lot of our work is in the marketing world. So we work directly with clients, we work through agencies, we tend to focus on the technical side. And that's because, we want to work with agencies, we don't want to be stepping on their toes. Many of the agencies we work with like to take the lead on design, certainly, strategy, and a lot of other marketing components, and would happy to leave the technical builds to teams like mine. I do a lot of networking. I was at 2 networking events last night, and one of them I met somebody who is launching a luxury brand publication, targeted at like the top 20%, he said, of high net worth individuals. So I'm not sure where high net worth is defined, but they're top of the top. And I said, have you thought about doing a chat bot for these people who want to be able to look up resources and find resources? He said, it's a great idea. Let's talk. So I'm always offering up ideas, technically driven ideas, software driven ideas, and also helping clients assess their options. I had another, in fact, it came from somebody in this group, referred me to a client who was looking at building a dashboard. They're an agency. I think they focus on conversion rate optimization, and they want to build a dashboard to integrate with a whole bunch of other sites. And I was happy to give them my insights. I don't think they're going to go with us, but I did warn him that his $20,000 to $30,000 budget probably wasn't going to cut it. But I gave him some ideas about how he could test his concept and prove the concept out before he spends all that money. So here to help anybody who's thinking about developing something in software, anything from a website to a very sophisticated, e-commerce site, mobile app, etc. So I'm going to switch back to gallery mode. There are 9 of us left. Look like a couple of people, 2 people left. I will add that the new Trusted Referral Network site, trustref.net, launched this morning. It still has a few minor bugs. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It looks a lot like the other site, but behind it, it's a lot more capable. Everybody now has a 3-month trial standard membership. That comes with a standard listing in 3 months. It'll remind you, if you want to stick with it, you need to become a paid member, which is $360 a year for a basic, standard membership. And you could up it from there up to $420 or $480. And you'll see on the pricing page, which is under our about, what that gives you. And so I'm excited about that. Excited to be adding new features over time. I know that we will be soon adding a LinkedIn supercharger for networking, which will enable people to sort of, identify people who are their most trusted contacts, above and beyond the first connections. So we're looking forward to that as well. Any comments, questions? If now's a good time, if you haven't already downloaded the chat, people have been dropping their contact information in there. Thanks for coming as a guest. And if you're interested, let me know. As I said, there's a 3-month trial to be a member. And the idea is we want you to participate and get the most out of it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Period. I got to run, but I'll be reaching out. Thanks, everybody. Good to meet you all.
All right. Take care, all. We are at the top of the hour. Have a wonderful Wednesday.